Wounded Warrior Homes.
Yes.
Right? I had to make sure I got that right.
Yes.
Mia.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great.
Very, very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for letting us come in.
Well, thank you for coming.
And I'm excited too because 2017, we did 106 episodes in 2016 from March to December. And coming into 2017, we want to take this show to another level with the cameras and all that kind of stuff. But we also want to really focus, and we're going to focus on nonprofits and 3 categories that really go deep for me, which is animals, kids, and vets. So,
awesome.
So we're excited to be here. Share with everyone. I want to get them behind that black curtain a little bit on who you are and where you came from and how you got here. So, where are you originally from?
San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
LA girl.
All right.
California born and raised.
All right.
Yes,
we call that, right?
What?
Spoiled.
Well, when it comes to weather, definitely.
Oh, man.
And I married a guy from Del Mar, a surfer, so.
Wow. There you go. That's right.
Two locals.
Yeah, it's such a. I'm from New Jersey, so this is paradise to me. This is absolutely paradise. So, how long you lived down in the
I've been in
San Marcos area?
I've been in San Diego. I moved to Del Mar in 1981.
Okay.
So I've been here ever since.
Okay.
Bouncing around between pretty much only North County, Solana Beach, Vista.
Yeah, I know.
Area.
Yeah, I'm up in Fallbrook right now, and I was in Carlsbad for a while. So yeah, and I always
North
say
County has
it stinks, but somebody has to do it.
Yeah, I'm a North County girl.
Right? Yeah, no, it's awesome. So so you were born and raised up in LA, okay, and then typical childhood, typical.
Mostly spent my time growing up with my grandmother.
Okay.
My father was a Marine and gone a lot, and mom was busy working.
Yeah.
And,
so grandma raised you pretty much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Came to San Diego to be near my dad. When he retired, he got out
in San Diego.
And I came down here.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's. Listen, it's just getting better than this. I still go back east, but this is home. This is home now, and it's awesome stuff. So, Wounded Warrior Homes. How long have you been around? And let's kind of share the story on how you're even here.
Well, it kind of goes back. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with the person who kind of catapulted us into this just yesterday.
Wow.
In May of 2009, my husband, who is a general contractor and a home inspector, we were at a class in Las Vegas taught by Marshall Silver. Who does motivation speaking and all kinds of great stuff. And we were actually in his training, and he said, so if you're an entrepreneur, you need to give back. And we, you do the typical, I do this and this and this. And he said, well, for those of you who already do, it needs to be bigger, think outside the box. So between Las Vegas and San Diego, the idea for Wounded Warrior Homes was born. My husband and I just figured, who in the community needs our help? With his background in housing and my background in special education, how could we put the two of those together and use that to support our community?
So when was this started?
2009.
Okay.
May of 2009 was the inception, and in December of 2009 we were actually incorporated.
So back then you're going through Marshall's training, and you were entrepreneurs. So what was your business?
My husband he has Roseberry Builders. He's a general contractor, and he has safekeeping home inspections. He's a home inspector.
Oh, good.
And at the time, I was a special education teacher.
Wow.
For the Vista Unified School District, looking to do something different.
Okay. So you weren't an entrepreneur at the time.
I was not.
Okay.
I was the wife of an entrepreneur.
Yeah. That counts.
Yeah,
that counts.
It counts.
That's some major medals there, girl. Yeah. So, how was your going at that time? I mean, we were through a major recession, so construction was was struggling.
Things were tight.
Were you guys feeling it?
Oh yeah, we felt it because I left a teaching job. To start a nonprofit right when the economy tanked.
Okay.
So yeah, we felt it, but when the war started in Fallujah, we had a 19-year-old Marine Corps wife living with us because her husband was deployed in the middle of the night. And then my nephew did 2 tours. I mean, he came back, he slept on our living room floor. And when her husband came back, he slept on our living room floor.
You were home base.
And then, a few years down the road, our daughter started dating a Marine out of 29 Palms. So, out there, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So our house became home away from home on the weekend for sometimes 2, 5, 10, 15, sometimes 20 guys. They would go up to Stampede in Temecula to go dancing, and they'd come home with more Marines. And so we'd wake up in the morning and say, well, wait, 8 left, and now there's 15 here. How'd they get here? And
I have so many eggs and bacon, I can't, right?
They always cooked for themselves. They used every pan in the house, but it just seemed to be that they were always there.
Was that natural for you?
We're always inviting people.
That's just part of who you are.
It's just what we do.
Yeah.
Our daughters, she was raised helping and being someone in the community and giving back. And it's just, I don't know, I think if you don't, you're missing a huge part of yourself, because you get so much by giving back to others with expecting nothing in return.
Well, you know what, and that's so great that you went there, because I always, and a lot of times I'll wait till the end, but since we're going there, I always ask people, what is your definition of success? What's your definition of happiness? And mine personally, success is living life on your terms, whatever that is, right? And happiness is fulfillment, right? That's why when you can see very rich people, very successful on the outside, not happy. There's something that they're missing. It's just not fulfilled. Or the people that think they're fulfilled, but they're living life under somebody else's terms, right? So I like that. It's so right on. It's so on point.
It is who we are. I mean, I don't know if it came from any place in particular. It is who we are, and who we are as a couple of going on 33 years and raising a daughter who, lives in Montana and gives back, where she can there. And it's just who we are.
Yeah.
I don't go to a job every day. There's days when I get up and I don't want to go in because I want to do other things like anybody else. Or we had a rough day with a veteran and I'm frustrated. But I know that by being here every day, and our staff and our volunteers, we're enriching the lives of the veterans who have given so much for us. A bad day here is nothing.
Right.
No matter my worst day ever is nothing. Right. And it warms my heart to know that, we're now up to 49 veterans that we've served since 2012 when we opened.
And we're going to talk about, really what you guys do, and we'll get into that. But, it's another great point that you brought up is, I think a lot of people, and I'm actually had it set up on my thing. I do little quick videos during the day, and I'm talking about the difference between giving and trading. A lot of people think that they're giving because they're expecting something in return, and that's just simply trading. And there's still nothing wrong with that, but be clear on what what you're really doing, and giving is really not expecting anything back. But you mentioned it's when you do really give, there is no feeling like it.
There isn't.
There isn't. And the other thing you talked about that I talk about a lot, and I want to really highlight, is we hear this. First of all, this word and title is thrown around so much: depression. A lot of people look. At the end of the day, if you're in a funk, the best way to get out of it, the healthiest way to get out of it, is to get outside your bubble, because there's so many people that are praying for your problems. And if you and I tell people, if you don't believe me, just simply go to a children's hospital and see that 12-year-old little girl fighting for her life. She's the rock of the family. The parents want to crumble, and she went through her second term of chemo, right? That's the real. That's what's going to get you out of your bubble and put things more into perspective that you get to see every day,
Yeah, give back.
Right.
Give back.
And what's it do? It gets you out of your bubble. So when you woke up, right, and you're saying, these are my problems, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Yeah.
And I don't know, it just seems like a natural thing to do. Like I said, I think if you don't find a way in your life to give back, even just do it once. Go someplace once and volunteer just for the heck of it. You'll see that I don't know. There's no feeling. There's
no feeling like it, and it's just awesome when you give, not trade. I'm curious, you guys. I could just feel your energy. You are a giver, and that it means a lot to you. What was it that Marshall created or did that kind of made you take that jump? Like, Because I'm sure you were giving before that. So what was the impact that he created in you?
He made the challenge.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was. It was a challenge because it was, look outside yourself, do more, give more, be bigger. And I was just joking with him yesterday. I said, I don't know that this is quite what you were talking about. And he goes, oh yeah, it was. Okay. Because it was so... We laughed because we went back the following weekend and told people, this is what we're going to do. We've got this plan. And the cart went so far before the horse, down miles ahead. We went, well, we have to stop talking about it until we actually figure out what this is going to look like. Right. And how we're going to do it. So from May to December, I spent that time reading books. And I have no business background. I don't have nonprofit background.
I love it.
And it's like... I literally got Nonprofit for Dummies. and read, okay, this is what you do, and then realized, I need help. Yes. And I'm not afraid to ask. So I started networking with people, learned how to network. I learned how to get away from, and I still get nervous around asking people for things, and especially when it comes to money. But everybody can give something, no matter what it is, and we all have that need to do it, so why not just ask them and give them the opportunity? Absolutely. And then just, this is a group that needs our support. I got a hold of the Wounded Warrior Battalion at Camp Pendleton, and originally we were going to build houses and donate them. Okay. And this is before anybody was doing that. And they said, really don't do that because there could be some benefit issues and you'll be missing the greater population that needs your help. And I said, all right, who needs our help?
Well, now, how would you miss that population?
Because we would be doing one house for one guy. Oh. And if we did transitional housing, we could reach more people. Oh, okay. And we could serve more veterans.
Okay, but let's stop here real quick because this is such great golden nuggets for people, right? Especially the ones that want to start a business and they're waiting for the myth, right? The perfect time, and there is no perfect time.
Jump.
But think about this, right? You jumped, right? And I'm the same way. I jump off the cliff and build a plane on the way down. Sometimes I crash, sometimes I fly. But one of the things that you learned right away, and you didn't know that, is okay. We're gonna move in this direction. The only reason that you realize that maybe we'll just make a little slight right instead of going down is because you move down that path, right? You move down that path and you figure it out as you go. How important is that?
It's everything, because if I told you right now the vision I had in 2009. And we stuck to that.
You wouldn't even recognize it, would you?
No, it's nothing else.
I love it.
And it literally, it creates its own direction. It builds its own direction. The need comes up, and we just follow the need. Yes. Sometimes we follow it down a path, and we go, nah, that's not really where we're headed. Right. It's not best for us as an organization. But, all right, so how can we adjust the path and still serve, but maybe not go down that one?
Exactly.
And we just, that's the beauty of being able to just follow it and everybody believing in your vision and saying, okay, good idea, bad idea, let's try this. Oh, maybe that didn't work, so let's just adjust. But if you're not adjusting, you aren't learning. And if you aren't trying, you aren't learning. And
you're not growing.
And you're not growing. You have to. You have to just sort of go and hope.
Now, how much, let me ask you this. 2009, right? So, and you've been involved full-time from the get-go?
Oh, yeah.
How much has it changed you?
In words, it's not possible to put words to it. It truly isn't.
In business and personal?
Business, personal, believing in myself.
Okay. Raising your own self-image.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And
I see the passion.
And you can get me to tears in a second.
Right. But that's it. That's the real.
It's my heart. This is my heart. It's my husband's heart. It's our heart. And everyone who works here, it's theirs, or they wouldn't be able to be here because, working in the nonprofit doesn't pay a lot.
It's the real.
It's got to be your heart work. It really is.
It's the real. And how much personally have you grown? Because here's my guess, right? Is the networking, getting yourself out there is not you wouldn't choose to do that, right? That's just, I can tell, right? But
now, yes, not then, no.
Exactly. But again, I love this because you're living proof, right? You're live and in color, living proof that the only way to grow is to get outside your comfort zone, test yourself, right? And take on those challenges, not because not because of the challenges themselves, because of the person you become on the other end of that.
Absolutely.
On the other end of that.
And I think that goes for anyone doing anything. Really, just do it. I mean, that, you know,
but
you hear that
not everyone does that.
Not everyone does it, because I think, and I was guilty of this, and I still am at times, I let fear stand in my way. Well, what if I fall? We'll get up.
Yeah,
you know, we're a Western family, so, you know, cowgirl up. You fell down. Get up, dust yourself off, mend your scrapes and bruises, and move on.
Yes.
Because if I sit here and I wallow in the pain, I didn't accomplish anything. And even if it's just I'm doing this for me and no one else, I still have to, you know, do that. And I'm not real great at taking care of myself. I'll take care of me last. But
you're a caregiver.
Yes. And then one of my goals this year is to kind of continue the caregiving, but actually take some of that time in doing it for me a little bit more.
And
so I can be better at what I do. If I take care of myself, I can be better at what I give to others. And you have to do both.
I love that. I know.
Taking the time to do both. It's like, I don't want to. It's too hard.
But what's interesting, though, is because you're starting to change that paradigm shift, the only reason you're able to do that is because you're building that self-image, right? That allows you, that now you're starting to see that, you know what? I got to put the oxygen mask on first. Once I can do that, now I'm such a better person. Right? A more complete person, a stronger person that can now actually do what you ultimately want to do anyway.
Right. And you can offer more.
Yes. Yeah. And that's I love working. If I had to pick one group of people to work with, it would be women. And I'll tell you why. I always say, even in my keynotes, the baddest human being on the planet is a good woman. Can do it all and then some. Run a house, raise a house, work full time, work a business, get to the gym, work at whatever, everything. We're limited. We have one thing that we focus on, and then once that's done, then we can, and that's just the real. And anybody that doesn't believe that, they're either living under a rock or they're not being honest. Because I tell this story all the time. I had my first business back east, and my office manager, Robin, she was so quiet and timid, but she was a beast. I used to say on Friday when I give her a check, I said, Robin, what are you and your husband doing this weekend? I go, don't do anything crazy. I need you. Don't go anywhere. I told her I was going to put her in a Pope mobile so nothing happened to her, because she ran it all. She handled it all. So, but where I'm going with that is so many women, right, are in your position where they just want to keep giving, right, and they're not replenishing. And you're living proof that you need to do that. So when we hear that from you, it goes...
Burnout will happen. It will happen.
And not just that, you know now that you're not being your best, right? And ultimately, that's what you want. Yeah. Right? So coming from you, though, it's really coming from that person. I could say it all day long, and it's different. Coming from you is the real.
I've been looking at it as a thing to do for the last few years. Right. I finally decided that
baby steps.
I was talking to someone recently, and I was in a training, and it's like, if not now, when? Just jump. Just do it.
Now here, you ready for this? So we're live, so we have people that jump on. Okay. You ready for this? This is, now, you see how you like to give back, right? This is, Monster Motivator TV has become my oxygen. So we want to take this nationwide and create the Oprah effect and get to a point where we have enough following to where when we come to you, we're going to blow you up, move to the next town. Watch this. Jeff Van Dam. Triple Line Solar will offer free solar installation service if materials could be fundraised through your system. So here's what's going to happen, right? So because it's live, once we jump off, you're going to be able to jump back on, reconnect with everyone, and that's what I love about this. So
well, it's interesting that Jeff says that, because just before you walked in the door, in my office, there is a plot of land piece that I said, Future Wounded Warrior Homes Village. And I was talking to one of our veterans who wants to go to real estate school and find ways to give back through that to the organization. And I was saying, well, solar will be one of the things we'll be looking to do. So, hey, there we go.
That's it. it. That's it. It never happens by mistake.
No, that's
right. And it comes back to and I can tell that this is who you are. You know, my dad used to tell me all the time, hard work brings good luck. You know, and that's what happens. So, Jeff, make sure you guys connect, and I know Mia will reconnect with everyone when we jump off. So I'm pumped up. We have Jody Doty. Thank you so much for jumping on. Big Tom Lanagard. Awesome guy. Marion, the Monster Moderator, thank you so much. Mike Purcell, Dave, stop flexing. Carrie, thank you so much for jumping on, guys. So, 2009, you started in a certain direction. Now we're in 2017. You can't even recognize your original business plan, right? So break it down for us. What do you guys do, and how are you making a difference? And we want to talk about some success stories.
Okay. Well, Wounded Warrior Homes provides transitional housing and reintegrative support services for post 9/11 combat veterans.
So give us that definition.
Which one?
Reintegrative.
Okay, let me finish the mission and then I'll
do that. Okay.
So, reintegrative support services for post 9/11 combat veterans with traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress, and amputees.
Wow.
So it's a pretty long thing. So literally we own a home and we rent a home, and we are desperately looking to rent a third home in the North County. It's North San Diego County, where we do transitional housing. So veterans come in, and if it's a 3-bedroom house, there are 3 veterans living in the house.
Okay.
And so we do every example, guys have been living in their cars, they've been couch surfing. People think, well, I'm not homeless because I'm sleeping in a buddy's. Well, that's still homeless to a degree.
Right.
Sleeping in their cars, coming from the hospital, coming from other support services where they've been getting some, deep intensive support, that they need a place to live. Everything in our life is catapulted by whether or not we are safe. And if we have a place to sleep. So we focus on safe housing, and we will do, food, and we pay for the rent, and we do everything. You come in, settle in, no cost. And the reintegrative support services are what do you need now in order to make that next step back out on your own. Okay. You need legal support, you need financial support. We work with the San Diego Financial Literacy Center to get you a budget, plans for the future.
Life skills.
Finances, dealing with, we think, okay, so they were in the military and now they're out, so what? Well, on average, nationally, it changes, but on national average, it's about 236 days before a veteran gets his benefits. So yesterday I was in the Marine Corps, tomorrow I'm not in the Marine Corps. Now what?
Yeah, exactly.
The paycheck stops.
Right, you gotta eat.
And there's only so much in the savings when getting out wasn't part of your original plan. You're getting out, a lot of times these guys are getting out before their time is up.
Much before.
If I have 2 or 3 years left on my time in and I'm getting out now, well, I was planning on 2 or 3 years of income. Yeah. I still have debt. Yeah. Debt is a reality of no matter where you live and what you do, we all have debt. Yeah. And so if the income stops, the debt rolls into a really bad place. So we got to deal with that. Do you have a car? Do you want to go to school? Do you have a job? Are you ready for a job? What kind of support do you need around that? Do you have child issues? Wow. Do you have an ex and kids that need to be dealt with? Literally, we take for granted. We get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we get dressed, we go to work, we feed ourselves, we do our day, we go home, we go to bed. We can deal with all those things. But if I don't have anywhere to live and I don't have anyone to help me with those things, little things become catastrophic. Yes. So it literally is the reintegrative support services wraps around what do you need? Right. And every veteran needs something different. So if we don't have the service, we go out and find the service. And we're connected with a lot of organizations in San Diego that provide them, and if they don't, we can ask someone to help us find it. Yeah, you'll have the resources. You'll figure that part out. So how it works then, you find land and you build? Well, or how does that? Thus far, the house we own started out as a rental. Then the landlord decided to sell, but worked it out so we could buy the house through him. Okay. We rent a house, and we're looking to rent a third house because I need housing now. Right. My vision for the future is buying a large piece of land and building a village where we have 2 to 3 bedroom bungalows, and we have this. Instead of going out to that support service comes there a couple days a week, and we have everything you need there. And by expanding into a bigger vision than a couple of houses, we can also support single veterans with kids. We have a lot of single guys with kids. Well, right now I'm only set up to take single guys. But what about the women that are out there that need support? I'm not set up to take that. But if I build something bigger, then I can have an area for guys with kids or families. I can have an area over here for women. I can have an over here for the men, and really start reaching all those veterans, because right now we're only working with single guys.
So you only have one house?
2.
So 2 houses. Mm-hmm. Are you in the position to rent other houses?
I'm in the position to rent
financially.
I'm in the position to rent a 3rd house because of a grant we received.
Okay.
To pay for a 3rd house. The problem is I'm finding landlords, with the rental market being as tight as it is, the landlords want to know everything about all the renters. Yeah. That's none of their business. I pay the rent. The rent is on time through me.
Oh.
Whether they pay rent or not, it doesn't matter, because I'm the one paying the rent to the landlord.
So is your company signing the lease?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're the
I am the leaseor.
Yeah, you're the okay.
Or the leasee.
Yeah.
But it's hard because the rental market is so tight these days, getting people to say, I'm okay not knowing that information. Right. And they hear transitional, they think transient, they hear veterans, and they only hear what they hear on the news, so they think, they're going to destroy my house.
It's going to be problems and issues. And
that's not the case. That's what they think. So you have to kind of, what I've made deals with the landlord that we're renting from in Escondido right now is, we have a year lease, but I said, I give you the right to give me 60 days to get out of the house if you find out that I'm truly a bad tenant. We're on our 3rd year in the lease. Okay. I'm not a bad tenant.
So right now in that house, how many people are living in there?
The Escondido house has 3.
Okay, 3 individuals.
3 individuals, and the Vista house is going up to 4 tomorrow. I have a new veteran moving in tomorrow. And on Saturday, we're finishing a 5th bedroom. We have to put in a closet and shelf and
so you'll have 5.
We have 5 bedrooms in the Vista house.
No families, just individuals.
Just individuals.
Because that's all you really can do right now. Right now. But eventually...
we're going to grow to the need.
Yeah.
But right now, that's what we can do.
And what do you do when vets, like say you're filled up, right? There's no vacancy. Mm-hmm. What do you do when vets call you looking, because, obviously your name's out there. Is there resources that you can send them?
Depending on whether or not it's a resource we can fill for them, we've been known that the Escondido house, the master bedroom, is a huge suite. Okay. We've been known to double up, especially if we know that we've got someone getting ready to move out. The Vista house, we've put someone in the living room, a bed in the living room. All the guys agreed, look, I've got a veteran, here's the situation. They're like, fine, just put a bed in the living room. And so it's not something we like to do long term. No. But there's a couple of veterans that have ended up in my house. Yeah. Because they needed a spot, and we vetted them and we were ready to take them. I just didn't have the space.
And it's almost, too, I would imagine, as long as they get along, that it's almost like just a home base for them, because now they're sharing a house with other guys that get it. Yeah. That they get it.
They're living together. They're managing the house. They're cooking. They're cleaning. No one's living there with them. Okay. We're not watching over them. No. Night and day. They live by them. They just live there together. Right. And take care of each other. Call each other out when they're trying to hide. Support each other when they're having a rough day. Right. Tell us if someone's struggling, because we're not there every minute of the day. Right. Some guys don't want to say, hey, I'm running into this. And they'll go, hey, did you know such and such is kind of running into this issue?
And then what do you guys do? Do you have resources where you can help, counselors and things?
We do. We also work with the San Marcos Veteran Center. Okay. And so we guide them all to go there, and they have a great program. They do individual and group counseling, and we're in a crisis. We've been known to take guys who've said, hey, I got to check myself in the middle of the night. All right, let's go. There's always 2 people on call every night. Really? They have phone numbers for 3 to 4 of the staff on any given day. All of us have phones. They've been told, if you call this person, they don't answer, just keep calling. One of us will answer.
Oh, so you're actually on call.
Yeah, I'm less on call, but my phone number's on the list.
You made the list.
Yeah, and before we had a squad support officer, when Gene and I were just the only 2 people running the organization, we were driving veterans down, and we were going and getting them taking them to the doctor's appointments and things. But now we have a squad support officer, and her only job is, what do the veterans need?
So how did Gene get involved?
G started as a volunteer.
Because that's how we got connected.
Yeah, he started as a volunteer. I got lucky. And he was the first paid staff because there was a point in which he had to start looking for a job. And I knew if I lost him, we would just crumble.
Really?
Yeah. The day-to-day is not me. It is him.
Wow.
The overall keeps everything afloat, manages all the little details. That's G, not me. He does all that.
Wow.
He was the first paid employee. I was long before me.
When did he come on with you?
We were talking about it today. He was actually paid staff January 1st, 2012.
Okay.
But he was a volunteer for about 9 months before that.
Yeah, so like 2011 he came on, and you guys started in 2009. So it was just you?
It was myself and a couple of volunteers that had floated through, and then Larry Lauber, who does our grant writing right now, he's one of our grant writing volunteers. He was kind of an office assistant, but it wasn't his thing, but his background's in social work. Oh. So he helped while we were building the program out.
Man. So Tom Lanagard, who's an attorney downtown, just said he'd be happy to be a resource for your legal things. So you got a few people that are already reaching out, and that's what I love about
legal. That's the hardest to find.
Yes. So, and a great guy. Awesome. So what are some of your success or some interesting stories, I should say, that you've come across that you can share?
Let's see. A couple of the guys let me talk about them. Mm-hmm. One of them is Travis.
Okay.
And Travis was...
Is he still with you?
No.
Okay.
Travis was the second veteran in our program.
Okay.
And I met him when he was going through some stuff. Mm-hmm. And he came into the house the day he came to the house. He couldn't even drive his car from where he was to us. He just was really struggling. And post-traumatic stress has some terrible demons when you're driving down the road. When you and I drive down the road, we just see a freeway and cars and overpasses and bushes. But combat veterans see what could be behind that tree, what could be under this bridge. Is this a safe place to go? I mean, their life has been about everything out there could be potentially bad.
Yes.
So coming home to everything is good is not the place they go. So a lot of them have said the hardest thing for me to do is get in the car and drive down the freeway. Because I see all the bad things that are out there, or could be out there, and that makes it horrifically stressful just to drive to the grocery store.
Wow.
And
it's interesting.
So I remember taking him to the grocery store, and I said, pick out some food, and he came back with like a bread, and I'm like, what happened? He goes, I don't know what I want. So I said, well, what about junk food? Let's get some junk food. Right. Let's start there.
Let's make it fun.
Let's start there. Let's start some junk food. Do you like sandwiches? And so, we evolved from that to he is a rated Paralympian.
Okay.
He has a service dog. He transitioned out about 2 years into the program. He has an amazing job. He is now married, has a home of his own in Marietta.
Wow.
And he wins chili. We entered him into a chili cook-off recently because he makes this killer chili, and he won. And we laugh. He says, when I came in here, I didn't want anyone to know I was here. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want anything. Yeah. And I kept saying, the life you want ahead of you is there. You just have to trust me that working through the steps with us will get you there. We are the ones that push you. You do the work.
Yes.
And these guys can fly.
Yep.
You just have to believe that it's possible.
Yep.
And seeing him on the other side with an amazing wife and so happy and sure, I'm sure like anybody else, he still has struggles day to day.
Oh, of course. He's human.
We're human.
Yeah.
And and every day is not going to be perfect.
No.
But he picks himself up on those struggled days and moves forward and has made a life for himself. And made a life for himself that only he could do. Mm-hmm. But the cool part is, we were the ones that were behind him, giving him
you have
an option to do that.
And that's where your fulfillment comes in, right?
Absolutely.
So such a win-win if you think about it, right? Where this business, this company, this organization has helped build your self-image, right? And in return is building somebody else's self-image. Oh, and that's all it boils.
That's what it's about.
And that's as simple as that, right? That's the real. That's what it's all about. Now, do you still stay in contact with him?
Oh yeah, we were talking last week. I've got his crock pot still. I said, well, I'll bring it up if you promise to put chili in it again.
Man.
So
and I love that you guys and here's the other thing that's so great about this is like you said, it's not about not having bad days. It's not about not being in the funk, right? Because we're all human. But what it's about is having the tools to get yourself out of it way quicker, right? And just maybe shift that perception, right? On that deal.
So some days you take 2 steps forward and 5 back, but tomorrow maybe you'll take 4 forward and 1 back.
Right. Or maybe none back.
And then eventually it's more forward than back. And you just have to bear with us. The guys will say, this is not what I signed up for. And it's like, well, what did you think it was going to be?
Because it's hard.
Because we know what you need to do to get you to where you need to be. You just have to be willing to go there.
Yes.
And we're not trying to rope you into anything that we don't think is helpful. It's all about finding your power and getting that stuff back again.
Yeah.
Because all of these guys have served. Whatever that capacity, whatever branch, they've served. By the time they're 25, they've done way more than most people have done in their entire lifetime.
Right.
They've been responsible for more. They've been capable of more.
They've seen more.
They've done more. They've managed people and things and in large amounts. And that's one of the things that we try to convey to employers too. These guys have done way more than you can imagine. They may not know the job, but you want leadership skills and team players, hands down.
I love it.
No problem.
I love it. I want to just throw some shout outs. We had some people jump on. Jeff, thanks so much for jumping on. Robert Musso, he's connected with, and I think that's where I met Gene over at Warfighter maybe?
Yes.
Okay, and that's Robert's my man. That's Robert Blanton and company is awesome guys. Gail, thank you so much for jumping on. John, Sharon, thank you so much. She said, wonderful show, great cause, 100%. And we're gonna end. Here's the other great thing is when you go back on after we send this out, you're gonna be able to jump back on and post all the places where they can connect with you and give back. And but before we do. What do you need? How can people help? Because we have somebody that wants to help with solar. We have somebody who wants to help with legal. What else? I know it's a laundry list.
Well, it is for any nonprofit. Of course, the first thing always on the list is money.
Right.
We're publicly funded. We do not receive any money from the government.
Okay.
So our vision is the vision of the community.
Okay.
So when someone donates time, materials, supplies, food, whatever, they really are investing in the future of the veterans in this community. So it's less of a donation, more of an investment.
Love it.
So of course it's always funding. Gas cards, grocery cards, our pantry. We have a pantry in the back that the veterans can access. So when they get their grocery card, they're using that for perishables.
Wow.
And spending it on those things. And we try to keep dry goods and cans
in stock.
We have a pantry in the back.
Oh, they can just come in.
They come in. The guys in our program can come in and access that anytime they want.
Oh, I love that.
Whatever people donate.
That's awesome.
We have for them. Sometimes there's lots of cookies and stuff and canned foods and pastas and laundry detergent.
And that's all donated.
It's all donated.
Oh man, I love that. That's so. Listen, next time you're at Costco, right? You can pick up a few extra, drop it off, and all they have to do is drop it off, right?
Yeah. We have an entire list of the things that we need the most.
Okay.
Like canned meat and certain kinds of vegetables.
We'll just post that, right? That for them, and then they can contact you direct.
Just make a call to make sure someone's here because sometimes we're all out in different places. We're a staff of 5, and today there's only 2 of us here because everyone's out doing stuff.
That's
and so just call and make sure someone's here and drop stuff off. We'd love to show you around and tell you what we're doing. And
love it because I'm going to do a tour as well, and then I'd love to come back at a different time with my video guy and we'll do a tour of what you got going on. But I want to know this myself because when I walked through the door, I was greeted by 3 beautiful dogs. And anybody that knows me, I love dogs. So what's that all about? And before we went on, they were going crazy because somebody showed up with dog food.
Today's food delivery day,
Today's food delivery. So talk about that.
So, when you came in, you were greeted by Molly, Sky, and Juliet. Molly is actually a facility dog from Next Step Service Dogs. And she lives with Gene. So she's here every day. And Juliet and Sky are are my personal dogs, my husband's dog and mine, and Juliet is only 3 months old, so
she's beautiful.
She can't be home alone all day long.
Beautiful.
So she comes here.
Okay.
And we have another staff member who has a service dog, and sometimes there's 4 dogs in the office, and there's grandkids in the office. And
I love it.
You know, I just tell people, I don't care what you come to work in, just be somewhat presentable. Bring your dogs, bring your kids.
And you know what? And that's why you said earlier, you don't go to work, and that's you created that energy, that atmosphere. This is who you are, and I love that. As soon as I walked in, it was like I was in dog heaven, right?
And then the dog food delivery actually comes through the Helen Woodward, through a program called Animeals, and it's food from Blue Buffalo, and is donated to Wounded Warrior Homes for those specific veterans that are in the program up in the North County area. So the veterans, we have 2 veterans with service dogs in our program right now. I think we have 4 dogs on our service.
Wow.
Because they can be veterans in our program, veterans out that have been in and no longer in who have service dogs, or veterans who live in this community up in the North County. Their food can be dropped off here and they just come pick it up. So we get deliveries once a month.
Is it just for service dogs or is it for pets?
This is for service dogs.
Just service dogs.
Right. Okay. Animeals supports veterans.
Just service dogs.
Dogs. Because if you're a veteran and you have limited income or no income, a service dog is an amazing thing to have, but food's expensive.
No, it's overhead.
So it's a great thing that you can get the food for free. And it's quality food.
I love that. That's awesome. I had to find out about that because when I walked in, I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything I didn't share that you want to share before we do jump off?
I think the biggest thing is don't hesitate to step out when you see a veteran in need, or think it's a veteran in need, or not in need. Just thank them.
Yeah.
Our veterans get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And especially, people don't realize that a veteran with traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress, is just another guy in the community. And because they don't have what they consider the visible wounds of war, you're not going to see that this may be a veteran who's in trouble. And that was the biggest thing that the Wounded Warrior Battalion told us is the veterans with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress are falling through the cracks.
Right.
Wounded Warrior Homes is a drug and alcohol-free program.
Oh, awesome.
So a lot of the support in San Diego is there if you have a drug and alcohol problem. We're the only one that if you don't have a drug and alcohol problem, you can get in. So we're clean and sober, a minimum of 120 days when you come to us.
Wow.
Doesn't matter if you had them in the past. The past is the past, and that's a stepping stone.
But if you have that clean record.
We've got a clean, and if you stumble or have a problem, we'll get you into support. And then we realize that life is real.
Yeah.
But it's about, what can we do?
And it's about that healthy lifestyle. And that's and right, because anything else is going to take you down that wrong road again. So I love that's because I was going to ask you about that, your non-negotiables, right? And I always say you got to have non-negotiables in life.
Clean and sober.
Yeah, love it.
Non-negotiable. And work the program. For us, really, is work the program. Trust the system.
Right.
You can have suggestions and we'll work together.
Of course.
Trust the program, trust the system, and it has worked for 49 veterans so far, and it's going to work for you.
Have you had any women come through?
We have not.
Okay.
Because we only have 2 houses.
That's true. Yeah.
Mixing a house is too much stress.
Right now. But your vision.
That's part of the future vision.
Love that.
And then having the appropriate staff to deal with some of the issues that the women might have.
Yes.
That are different from the men.
Right.
And so being able to have the funding for the staffing to be able to meet them where they are.
So do you have any dates in mind, like when you put those goals out there? Do you see yourself maybe in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
My vision is the end of this year we're breaking ground.
Girl, love that.
If I don't make it now,
no, I love that.
If I don't, and I'd like to say by the end of summer, but I really, end of summer, end of the year, and that's a huge stretch.
Oh man!
But if I don't put it out there. If I didn't put this out there, it wouldn't have happened. So if I don't put that vision out there...
I love that answer because I went 2 years, I went 3 years, I went 5 years, and she's like, no,
I don't have time for that.
I love that.
There are too many veterans in our community that need us now. I don't have time to wait. Plus, you got to build it. So. No, but you know what? That's exactly how you do it. You
put it out there and you figure it out. And you make it so it scares you and excites you at the same time, or else it's not big enough.
Yeah.
So I love that. And real quick, Sharon says, God bless you for all you're doing for our servicemen. You're the best. All right.
Thanks.
Getting some love. Mike Purcell, he's the founder of a company called a Shout Tag. So he can help you free of charge get a huge web presence. So he's willing to do that for you. And Mia will jump back on. And guys, thank you so much. And Mia, we end the show the same way all the time. And you're going to love this. So I'm a big believer that we can only be in one state of mind at a time. Mm-hmm. So if we're in victim state, there's no room for gratitude state, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. If we're in that unhappy state, there's just no room for that positive, powerful mindset, mm-hmm. right? At that particular moment. And I always believe that, I don't make the rules, you don't make the rules. Life always makes the rules. And life always asks you questions. And right now life is saying, Mia, do you want to live your life? I already know the answer, but life is going to ask you these questions. Okay. Mia, do you want to live your life purring like a kitten or roaring like a lion?
Oh, I'm a lion.
I know, 100%. 100%. So here's what we want to do. If you could live your life in that state, if you could be in that state that's just that unstoppable state majority of your day, how great would that be?
Oh, it is.
Isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. It's called the Monster Motivator Roar.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to do this on 3 and take the show out. I love it. See? When it scares you and excites you at the same time, right?
Do one
and it
thing
gets you out of your comfort zone, right? That's right. So we can't leave without that. And I'm going to show you what it is. And the sound is just as important as the pose.
Okay.
So the Monster Motivator Roar goes like this. So on 3, we're going to take it out. 1, 2, 3. She did it better than I did.